Today's guest is none other than the incredible Tia Miles, better known as that NEMT girl. Tia has been a rock star in the NEMT industry for years and has an inspiring story to tell us. From overcoming early challenges, which we'll get to know, to scaling her business with the help of NEMT Platform, she's seen it all. Tia, welcome to the show. Are you ready to share your journey with us today?
I am so ready, and thank you for having me. I truly appreciate it, Shoaib. This has been a long time coming for us to partner with this, and I'm so excited to just dive into this conversation because I think it's not think I know it's that's definitely necessary for those who are trying to get into the industry or those who are trying to tighten up their operations to just understand the softwares that are out there, the options. There have been a lot of OGs in the game that haven't really grown. And so, I'm just excited to let them know about my story and showcase the great things that NEMT platform has to offer.
Great, excellent. I love it. Tia, you've been in an empty industry for quite a while now. Can you take us back to the very beginning and share how you first got started? What were some of the biggest challenges you first faced early on?
Okay. So I've been in the industry since 2019, and I got into this industry. It really fell in my lap when people ask me how I got into this industry. But I had just relocated from to Atlanta from Baltimore, Maryland, and I was working in property management. And I was a property manager for a senior citizen apartment complex. And they didn't tell me the job was going to be the way it was. They kind of sold me a dream. So I hated the job. I hated the job. And I would sit there all day just thinking, what else can I do? I'm in this new city, I'm in this new state. I don't really know much about it. And so before I moved to Atlanta, I had been saving money to start a vending machine business. And I ended up taking that money and relocated. And so when I got to Atlanta, I had started saving money again for a business, but I didn't know what kind of business I was going to start. And I knew I didn't want to do vending machine. I wanted to do something that had more of an impact. And so I would see my residents just sitting downstairs of the lobby of the apartment building, and they would sit there with an attitude some days, and they would be downstairs for a while. And I asked, I'm like, what are you waiting for? And they would say with an attitude, waiting on a ride, waiting on a ride. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's wait for your ride. And so I would see these vans pull up, and I'm like, what is like, she's in a wheelchair, but how is she getting in like a regular soccer mom van? And so one day a van arrived and it said NEMT. I'm like, what is NEMT? And again, I hated my job. So I took my time at work and started researching what is NEMT. And so I said, okay. I would, do more research and see more clients going out, ask more questions. And so I was saving money at this point to start an NEMT company. Well, unfortunately, I got fired from that job because I wasn't doing my work. I was studying for an NEMT business. So I took it as a sign. I'm like, okay, well, maybe now is the time to just go all in to start this business. I was saving money to start a business before I moved. And then I took that money to move and started saving again. And this is what came to me. So it's time for me to just go all in. So I took me being fired as a sign to go all in. And I did, which is pretty funny because I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning, which is how I even got into the coaching space of NEMT because of how much money I wasted, how much time I wasted, how much sleep I didn't get, how many nights I cried out of frustration, and so that is where my coaching came from into the NEMT space. Because once I did get it right, and once I did see, oh, okay, this is how I make money, this is how I build a team, this is how I build my fleet, I wanted to share that with other people. And so even, becoming a client of NEMT platform, that was one of the things that fell in my lap. It was taking me hours, literally hours, to do my routing for the next day. And I'm like, okay, I have worked all day and now I'm at home working an extra 3 hours on the computer to send out a schedule for the next day. It has to be a bigger way, a better way. And so that is actually how our relationship began. And so it's been a beautiful thing. It really has.
Well, we're so proud of our journey, but scaling a business isn't easy. But you've managed to say that, to grow significantly. How did discovering any EMT platform play a role in that process? And what was the turning point when you realized that tech was the key move to your growth?
Oh man. Well, that's actually a multi-layered question. I will say I'll start with how it helped me to grow, and then I'll go into how technology plays a part into the entire industry. First and foremost, I will say it allowed me to free up my time. Once I was able to free up that 3 hours that it took me to write out the routes and look on MapQuest or Google Maps or whatever, and then type it up in an email, send it out to the drivers, make sure they got it, make sure they read it, make sure they're on time. It was a lot. And so once I did go and get a routing software with NEMT Platform, I was able to get some of that time back. Getting that time back allowed me to see areas where I needed to delegate in other departments. I was able to tighten up my dispatching services. In turn, we were able to save more revenue. When you have a driver going to a client to get picked up and that client, they're not going that day, or, we can't get that cancellation to that driver in time and we can't catch it, whatever you're paying your driver an hour, they got that free money, and your company didn't make any money because that client ended up not going to their appointment. So we were able to maintain more revenue. In terms of scaling, maintaining more revenue allowed me to be able to pay more people, so we went
Yeah.
from dispatchers to two. We went from me being the forward face of talking with the drivers to having a team manager. Because as you grow, it's important for the owner to have that buffer between the team and him or herself. You need somebody in between to manage the team while you're managing the business. If you're in the rut and in the middle of your business every day, then you're not going to grow. And I do know that in the beginning, you do have to be in that space, especially if you're not coming from healthcare or an ancillary healthcare space. I went to school to be a teacher. So even learning the verbiage, bariatric or stretcher, why do I need a long cut? Why do I need a shortcut? The dimensions of the door. You still have to learn different things. And so that takes time. And if you want to do it efficiently, then you have to carve out that time so that you're the one learning it, because this is your business. Now, in terms of how I see it being a key pointer in the NEMT space in terms of technology itself, one word: compliance. Compliance. When you are able to track the compliance of your team, your company, you're able to remain in good standing with the broker or a facility that you have a private pay contract with. If they're asking, hey, we need to know what time Miss Jones was picked up because she's at the facility, she has dementia, the doctor can't find her. This is a real life situation, So if we're able to go back and look at the exact timestamps that our driver picked them up, dropped them off, got them out the car, and ended that trip, we know, well, we finished with her at X amount of Z time. They can look at the cameras at the facility and see where she went and disappeared at a certain time. Those things matter. So it's not just about the efficiency or the convenience of freeing up my time, but it's also a compliance thing. In the field of NEMT, the customer is always right, and so it's always going to be their word against your company's word. So documentation matters to the utmost degree. And so when you are trying to skip out on that by cutting corners and thinking that you're saving money by not having it, you're actually costing yourself more money and more time.
Well, that's absolutely true. Tia, fast forward to today. There's a huge difference in how you manage your operations, especially with NEMT platform, with the technology that's under the hood of this great platform. But with features like, auto planner and AI integration, how have these technologies transformed your business from early days, let's say, to now?
Oh, wow. Well, I will say this. We can literally just put the trips in and it'll auto assign it to the drivers based on their location and the starting points. As long as everything is entered correctly on the back end, the system is going to do its job. So, and I've even seen how you all have grown as a company. You know, I came on early on with you all. I started my business in 2019. I think I had you all by 2020, you know, and I've seen how you all have grown since then. So my time went from 3 hours of me doing it manually, right, to maybe 30 minutes. Now we're down to about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm just plugging things in, looking, overviewing. Cool. We're good. I'm going to dinner, you know? So it's one of those things where I've been able to grow with you all because I started early on with you all and I've been able to see the improvements that you all have made. So when it comes to, you know, those tweaks that you all have done, I will say it has saved time. It has saved efficiency because when I'm trying to go in there and do it myself, you know, I may not have routed the right way for the day, you know, so I rely on the technology to do that for me because I'm not making those mistakes.
Sure. Well, speaking of transformation, you do know that, we've got Olivia, our AI voice bot, which is making a lot of waves. Ever since NEMTech 2025, when we launched the AI technology over this platform, we've been, a lot of our users are already switching to this AI voice bot. How about we do this, Olivia? Why don't we give it a call right now? And why don't you call it right now and see what it does? If you're sure what it does.
You know, yes, because actually at NIMSAC this year, I was not able to. I feel like I was just bringing everyone to you all's table because I'm like, oh my God, they're here this year. And so I didn't even get a chance to try it out at NIMSAC. So yes, what a better way to do that. So let me get my phone. 1 second.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling XYZ Medical Transport. I'm Olivia, your virtual assistant. I can help you schedule a new ride, modify or cancel an existing trip, or answer any questions about our services. How can I assist you today?
I would like to book a ride for February the 10th for a pickup.
I can help you with that. Could you please provide your phone number?
470-543-2261.
Thank you. Could you please provide your name?
Victoria.
Great, Victoria. What time would you like to be picked up on February 10th?
Let's say 10 a.m.
Thank you. What is the full pickup address?
504 Fair Street, Atlanta, Georgia.
Thank you for the address. What is the appointment address for your trip?
550 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia.
Got it. What is the appointment date and time?
The appointment date is going to be February the 10th at 2 p.m.
Thank you for that information. Are there any special requirements or notes for your trip?
I would like to be picked up at 1 p.m.
Just to confirm, would you like to adjust your pickup time to 1 p.m. for your appointment at 2 p.m.?
Yes, please.
Thank you for confirming. Now, do you need a return trip?
Yes, but I don't know what time.
No problem. Is the return drop-off address the same as the pickup address?
Yes.
Great. Would you like the return trip to be a will call? This allows for flexible pickup coordination after your appointment.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Lastly, which service level do you need for your trip? The options are ambulatory, wheelchair van, or stretcher.
Wheelchair van.
Let me confirm the details for your trip. Name, Victoria. Phone number, 470,543,261. Pickup, 504 Air Street, Atlanta, Georgia, at 1 p.m. on February 10th. Appointment, 0 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia, at 2 p.m. on February 10th. Service level, wheelchair van. Return trip? Yes. Same as the pickup address. Will call. Please confirm if everything is correct.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Your trip has been successfully created. Is there anything else I can assist?
No, thank you.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Okay. All right. We're gonna have to talk
Wow.
more about this because we're actually partnering with a local government contract here for probably going into second quarter. We're hoping that it goes through first quarter, but probably more so early second quarter. And so that would be something that will help us with our rise for that group. Okay, nice.
Well, this is, I mean, it's so amazing that, this technology is able to help operations, and dispatchers and everyone in the company so much. Like, it takes 100% accurate notes. It makes the changes that you require. It adds the trips information and everything. So this is where we're headed right now in the AI space, and Olivia is the AI bot which is going to take all of your calls. It's going to you can talk to it in 35 languages. It's going to be able to take about 20 plus calls simultaneously. So it's just so powerful that and it's completely incorporated in the NEMT platform. But your experience and your expression tells that you're super impressed with this and really happy.
Yeah, because when I think about it, I coach those who are entering into the NEMT space all the time. And so many of these people who are entering into the space, the new providers, they're starting off by themselves, just like I did, and so it's hard when you're behind the wheel and you are going to pick up a client and you have a client that is calling in for a trip and it's a really good trip. You don't want to lose it, but they can tell that you seem busy, that you're behind the wheel. They can hear the wind in the car while you're driving. And they're like, this isn't that professional. I'm going to go to another company. I think Olivia is a great asset for those owner operators because it allows them to not have someone physically in the office or, having that extra person on payroll where they're able to still use the benefits of having a person, if that makes sense. Olivia is acting in the sense of an admin assistant, where taking those responsibilities off of an owner operator's plate. So that's really good. I think that was a really good feature to add because, like I said, I coach, and when I'm coaching my mentees, I'm like, you're going to have someone run the business, if you want to grow. But that is a great way to not miss out on private pay, facility pay, any kind of pay. They can go ahead and just book the trip with her, and you don't even have to be there. When you get back to your computer, the trip is already plugged in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Tia, here's the thing. I mean, like this is one of the tools that we have for you, and we're about to launch, and we've got so many other great tools to help you manage your daily operations. Very soon, you're going to be able to do all your dispatching, plan all your next day routes using your mobile phone. It's already there on our app. We're just gonna launch it very soon and make it available for you. So that 10 minutes of dispatching is going to come down to just 10 seconds, and you're going to be able to, make your plan on the mobile app. Yeah. But
Absolutely.
but you said something so important, and I would really love to know, your advice to anyone who is starting his or her new NEMT operation anywhere in the States. What advice you're going to give them? Any potential pitfalls, how to start up the business, what do you need to do in order to expand? What can you share on that?
So after visiting NEMT and just seeing all the changes that are coming into the industry, well, they've been here for a couple of years now, but that are really about to hit full throttle, especially by next year. The biggest takeaway is compliance. And so when it comes to new providers, my biggest piece of advice is do not delay technology. As I mentioned before, I was leaving money on the table. There were drivers that were getting paid for trips they shouldn't have been getting paid for. They were being sent to a client's home. The client wasn't going, but I still had to pay them, and I did not make money off of that client. There were things when it came to gaps or routing issues where the driver was right there by another client, but was sent all the way over to the side of town for a client that another driver could have gotten, and that's wasting you gas. That's putting a lot of wear and tear on your vehicles. That's wasting you payroll, which is the obvious, So I would say do not delay when it comes to technology. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't remember what it was like in my early days. Many people, many new providers don't have the money, okay? But I need you all to really work on a budget and figure it out. Because if you're going to be in this industry, if you're going to have a real business, you have to spend money to make money. And if you're not spending the money to make the money, I'm promising you, you're probably losing out on some of the money you could be having for your business. So that would be my biggest takeaway. And my biggest piece of advice, just being someone who's been in the industry since 2019. I've seen the changes. I felt the changes. I've experienced the highs and the lows of this industry. So I know what to expect. And that would be my biggest piece of advice for them.
Well, Dia, this was such an insightful conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today. It's inspiring to hear, how you've come and how NEMT platform has played a role in your success. For all our listeners, be sure to guys follow Tia Miles. She's an inspiration. She's always available, and she's just a rock star. She's great, guys. But yeah, we again want to really thank you for giving us the time, the opportunity to have this conversation and this podcast with you. And we wish you all the best in everything that you do in future. Thank you so much, Tia.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing just how you all take off this year. I've seen the growth, I have seen the tweaks, and you all have excellent customer service. My dispatchers, I don't even have to jump in. If there's an issue going on or they have a question about something or they need some help, you all are right there. So I just want to thank you all and commend you all for that, because that's rare. I also want to let the viewers know where to find me and follow me. If you're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, across all platforms, my handle is that NEMT girl. And if you go to my website, www.thenemtgirl, you'll find all of my resources there. I'm also in the process of revamping my site. I don't know, by the time this gets out, you all may have that new site up there. So make sure you check that out. Slide in the DMs, book your calls if you have some questions, because I'm here to help. Like I said, I wasted a lot of money in the beginning, and things are changing. I want to see people win. There's enough money out there for all of us to win. Let's go get it.
Thank you so much, Tia. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.